Welcome back. This is February's dividend. Just before we start, this is a disclaimer. There's no financial advice in this video. This is solely just what I do. So, yeah, don't don't take any of this for advice or anything like that. So let's get started. My dividend ETF. I've added a new position into this UK dividend ETF. It's got a 4.47 dividend yield and expense ratio of 0.4, and it's past 5 years is a decent growth. So yeah, it's a new one I've just got into, and that's 0.1% up. So yeah, it's pretty fresh in my portfolio. And this is just a normal FTSE 100. I'm 9% up. That's around £600. And the dividend yield is 3.9%. So take the expense ratio, it's pretty much 3%, and that's had good, decent growth, especially last year. And this start of this year has done quite well. And then we have a global dividend one, which I'm up almost 10% on, and that has a decent yield of 3.24 as well. So around 3% with the expense ratio taken off. And as you can see, they've done fairly well. And then the S&P 500 is the only one that's lacking behind at 1.29% down. And the dividend yield is only 1.1, so not that great, but it's supposed to be a good growth one, really. But yeah, I think the Magnificent Seven's not doing too well lately. So, and I'm not too sure what's going to happen with all this conflict going on. But let's go into the dividend stocks. Viva's just about broken into the profits. 1.29% up. And it has a nice yield of 5.4%. Bunzl, it's almost broke even now. I've been holding on to this for a while. Probably when it dropped down there, I brought some. And then, yeah, it's went even lower. But almost back on breaking even. But it's a decent company. They usually trade like above 30. So I'm hoping to at least get it back to 30, around that range. And it has an okay dividend, and its dividend grows quite a bit over the years, so that's good. Chemist Workshop, it's a bit up than last time. I was more up, as you can see there, in December and that, and it's dropped down a bit, but it's starting to go back up, which is good. They should have a good year next year. Hopefully they got the new Amazon have got the rights to film some Warhammer stuff, so hopefully that can come out next year or something, or at least start, get something official going. But there's rumours that Henry Cavill's going to be involved in it, which is good because he loves Warhammer. It'll be good to have him in it. And dividend yield is 2.69 at its current price. I did get this quite a few years ago. I got it, and then it went up by like 50-60%. I sold half, and then it carried on going up, and then I decided to put it in my main dividend one, so I've been adding to that, and it's carried on going up since. So I'm probably around over 60% up on my total, because obviously I transferred the portfolio over in August from Freetrade, so all of my progress is from, all of what it says here is just from not August, sorry, the end of October. Yeah, about end of October, November time is when I transferred it over, and it's done that since. And before that, it was about 50% up. But yeah, that's done me good, this one. National Grid's done well. It's the best one actually recently, and it pays a nice dividend as well of 3.37. It's not too bad. My yield on cost is probably like over £4, I think. Well, 4%. Sorry. But yeah, they've grown a lot lately. Probably the rise in energy prices and stuff like that. Realty income's done well lately. Most of the time, I was sort of in going a little bit up and then a little bit down, but now it's sort of broken out and I've been doing quite well. But that's not my actual. That's the price, obviously, when I transferred it over. But before that, I was at a high price, so for a lot of it, I was down. But yeah, it's turned around and it's got a good monthly dividend of 4.79%. I don't really know why it's done well lately. Maybe because interest rates went down, so they can borrow more money for cheaper to build or purchase property. And the Macfarlanes is 4.5%, which is probably a little diddly company not many people know about. But I've sort of worked in the industry, so I know about this one. And it has a nice dividend of 5.14%. Then I've just got a couple I got rid of a few stuff in here and I've just trimmed it down, and I've just added Relics and Sage, which are two new ones I added not that long ago, maybe like a week ago, down here. Yeah, maybe a week or two ago I added it, and it's 11% up and almost 4% up for Sage. And Legal in General is doing alright. And the biotechnology is doing alright. They all pay dividends. This one's only a tiny dividend of 0.35. Legal General has a nice one, 8%. And Relics and Sage, I think they're not great dividend payers, but they got a good dividend growth. So the yield on cost should build up over time. So yeah, they're about 2.5% each, almost. And then today I've got two new holdings in green energy. So I've got Greencoat, which does like green energy in the UK, and they have a nice dividend of 10%. And the price has been quite low. So I think it's worth much more than it is, hopefully. And I got a Global Clean Energy, which has a dividend of 1.15, and they've done well in the last year as well. Obviously, the other two, last 5 years, they haven't, but the last year's been well. So maybe with this conflict going on and the oil supply being a bit uncertain, there'll be more heading more towards green energy. So maybe this might be a play. I don't know, but it's a little one I've taken out and see what happens. So yeah, that's obviously I'll leave that for the other video. So yeah, that's that. And on today it's £62 down, well 63 almost. I was expecting the market to go down a lot, but they never react how people think they do they? But before I carry on, I'm wondering, do people want it in this format? Like where I just go through all these and then go on to the spreadsheet, or should I pull it more of like a PowerPoint presentation and just have like the company that's paid me a dividend and then the price, and then it's like year to date price and how much it paid me, and then just have like a different slides for each company and go through it like that? Sort of like the compounding investor and the Geordie Pig do it, where they have like a slideshow rather than just going through this, which I don't know, maybe it just looks a bit unneat and not appealing. So yeah, let me know your views on that. But I'll go over to the spreadsheet, and for Feb, the only one that paid out is the dividend stock pie, which was Realty Income with £15, and then all the others were in the daily pie, so I'm not going to count them. And then I had about £4.27 in interest. So far this month, February, it's £41.46, and not as much as a year before, but I had a lot of different stocks last year, so I've sort of trimmed them out. So obviously, I ain't got as many, so they're not paying out as frequent. So I'm probably going to have more months that have like bigger ones, and then just have a couple of months that got like small ones. But so far, this year is £188.63p, which is not too bad. I've doubled since the year before and that, and then yeah. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get about 2,000 and double last year's, because last year I was only contributing for about 6 months, like the first half of the year. Now I took 6 months off work, so I wasn't contributing, so I didn't have much growth last year. But since I got a new job, I piled a lot more in, so it should see a big bump this year in dividends. So hopefully I can get about 2,000. Worst case, maybe like 1,800, but I'd like to breach 2,000. That would be nice. So yeah, that's February's dividend. I will film the other one at some point and release that of the almost daily dividend pie. But yeah,